Okay, we're going to take a look at a fellow forum member here. He has new magnavox. He just posted up some pictures. He's wondering about this relay. I'm pretty sure that's got to do with the instant on. It switches off to B plus or something like that. Magnavox has an instant on switch. They also have a chroma tint switch. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's what that does. You have your thermistor in your VDR. This is part of your degaussing circuit. Kind of keep an eye out on that. Let's see if he has the tap in here. One of these power supply transformers. There's a tap, and it might be on the top side of this PC board where you can actually switch to a low volt, high volt tap. I think this might be the one where it's actually wired in, and you can switch it from the top side of this chassis. There's like a little wire that plugs in. Let's see what else he's got here. I'm just gonna look see if there's anything in particular. Well, this should go, of course. He's got this across the line. That's going to pop one of these days. I'll get rid of that. Put a proper safety cap on there. Let's see. What else have we got here? I believe this is the shunt tube. Okay, it's got these disc caps. That's good. That won't give you any problems. I don't see anything else that looks particularly excitable here. It all looks nice and good. Let's see what else we have. I want to point out a couple things here to anybody with a CTC15 or a clone. This wire right here, there's this brown wire that goes from this point over to here, and there's another one. There's two of these. There's this going from here to right here by this cap right there, this brown wire. These break. Frequently they'll break off right where they plug in right to the board. It's kind of hard to see it. When that happens, the whole screen will get the background tint color, and your color doesn't work. I think this resistor gets cold, but these are real suspect. What I like to do is just grab these with a pair of tweezers and just gently tug. If they're broken or corroded, they'll pop right off, and you'll know immediately it's broken. If it doesn't pull off, and I mean gently, don't try to break it. It's either broken or not. So not a lot of, so just a slight tug on that, just as you're checking it out. This is that cap that always is weak. It tests funny on the on the eye tube, on the eye tester, the old school cap tester. It usually, the eye just doesn't open very well. It doesn't have a clear definition. These two perform the same function. This cap here, this cap here. These are all grid coupling caps, so the 6GU7 difference amps right in here. These usually test okay. This one's always bad, guaranteed. Bet money on it, that one's bad. I'll generally replace all three of these. They have a lot to do with, obviously coupling the signal to difference amps, but also has to do with setting the bias of the tube. RCA is a way of having, I can't remember the term to my head right now, but anyway, by the time we get off of it, I'll remember it. This tube up here, if you have any kind of vertical jitters or any kind of vertical issues, I think it's this one right here. That's a pretty high volt, like a 0.0882 is part of the feedback loop in the multi-vibrator. That's frequently a cause in there. So you just kind of look through it. As a VDR, it's usually okay. I wouldn't worry about it. Check this one. I think this might be the other one. This cap usually tests okay. It's the cathode bypass for the vertical out. I don't know what this is. It's like somebody's done some work here. That looks like somebody tacked something on top. So I would suspect this can or something in here. In fact, I don't recall seeing that can. Anyway, I suspect something's gone wrong here and somebody's tacked this in from the top. This little cap here is frequently a black beauty. It's part of the tank circuit for the horizontal oscillator. I wouldn't worry about it. I've never had one that's been bad. They seem to hold up just fine. Over here, these are coupling caps for the horizontal out to your from your horizontal oscillator to horizontal out. I would go ahead and replace these if I had the chassis out. Just you want to make sure you've got a good, solid, good functioning cap here, since it is driving the horizontal out, and you don't want any leakage to screw things up. What else can we point out? Is this the right side? Where is it? Yeah. Okay, this is the magnavox. This is the magnavox, so you don't have the issue with the blanker tube problem like you get on RCAs. You have the horizontal out over here. It's funny how magnavox swaps power transformer on this side and the horizontal stuff's on the other side. Anyway, never mind, I wasn't telling you there's another problem. Nothing else too exciting here. I believe there's a large coupling cap for the video here. I wouldn't worry about it though. This all seems to have the good caps on it. But yeah, this is definitely an issue right up in here. This, if you have any vertical issues, it's going to be right up in here. Let's keep moving along, see what else he has. Okay. I don't think this one has the, well, it won't have the audio output tube because it's an Astrosonic and it's using that amplifier. So that's not a problem. Let's see what we have here. This is definitely not RCA. Magnavox likes to mount stuff up in here. Nope, that all looks good. Here's that relay he's talking about. I'm almost positive it's got something to do with the B+. There was some concern about wax drippage. Don't worry about it. That's not a lot. They all drip a little bit of wax. I wouldn't get excited about that. Don't go mess around in here trying to clean this up. I mean, just leave it alone. See if it works. What you don't want to do is end up breaking one of these little wires off right here at the transformer. So be careful. Just I kind of stay out of this area unless there's some reason to get into the high voltage. It's a little bit dirty. If you don't have any corona or any hiss, don't worry about it. Let's see here. Magnavox Astrosonic. Pretty trouble free. You might have some issue with some caps. There's a couple caps over here. Sometimes these electrolytics will dry up. But again, I think I replace these routinely just on good measure. I'm pretty sure that's the audio output coupling caps. On mine, I had some noise in the amp, and it was one of these transistors. I think it was one of these two. Was a little bit noisy, and so you can tell that when you turn the volume. I just kind of hear a background rushing sound. That's a little bit of leakage from one of those transistors. Kind of be on the lookout for that. Wait a minute, is that the same thing again? Whoa, what am I seeing here? Oh yeah, okay. He's got two pictures stacked on top of each other. Okay, power transformer. Okay, anyway, that's it. Just some things of note I wanted to point out, especially that idea about those brown wires. That's kind of a very common problem. I'll go back to that one more time with RCA sets. They're right over, you can get a better angle here, they're right in this area here. Look at it again. I'll use my cursor to point them out. So these two wires right here, they go from right there across to here. There's two of them kind of run side by side. And I think what happens is this, I think the reason this capacitor is always bad is it's sitting right next to this 6GU7 and this power resistor just cooking away. And usually you can tell because it'll actually look a different color than these other two, which are not quite as stressed out. Anyway, that's something to keep an eye out. Alright, anyway, that's for my fellow Magnavox owner. Hope that helps.